One and all, welcome back to the channel for a classic. It's B&B, B versus Beasty in a best of 5. That's a lot of B's in that one sentence. But let's see how many are going to be buzzing around as this series goes on, because Beasty is opening with an Nesta being Sif, the Chinese. Meanwhile, B goes for Jeanne. Interesting. B, he drafted very well for this first map, actually. Anatolian Hill is the one where you have to migrate to the mainland to get your food. Solid map for the French picks. We've been seeing Jeanne and French in particular dominate here. Beasty does something different. And I'm wondering, no IO. So my thoughts was that Beasty might be going for like a Barbican rush here to secure the mainland. Instead, it is going to be classic Imperial Academy. But I'm imagining the idea here is the Barbican will be able to secure the secondary base. Something that a lot of civs have actually struggled with so far. Most cases, what we end up seeing is like 1 or 2 outposts to try and protect you, which doesn't usually end up as effective as you'd think against all lanes. I think Beasty knows that 2TC here is very dangerous though, right? So far we've seen multiple attempts at 2TC and it kind of kills you. China might seem like they're a very good 2TC Civ, but I feel like in some ways you just weaken a lot of your other options by doing it. So see how he wants to approach this. He's almost gathered the resources. Has to be Imperial Academy. Like, there's no other reason you wouldn't have an Imperial official at this stage. Meanwhile, B, already Skull Cavalry coming up, and he's wasting no time. Yeah, we're used to kind of seeing, 3 villages maximum, including Jeanne. 5 is pretty nuts, but suggests B maybe is thinking about, like, an optimal pro scout timing here. And again, with only 2 on the gold, it's only really going to have enough for a knight at this rate. Okay, that is crazy. Beasty, he builds the Imperial Academy on the mainland. I mean, I guess it's not insanely crazy to like an extreme, but in some ways it feels a bit wacky because you've got wood and gold still here. So the reason it feels a little bit wacky is like 2 of your taxmen should be coming back here, right? Unless you want to move all your woodworkers to the mainland, you're going to want a guy for gold and a guy for wood. But understand what Beasty's doing here. Where do you get the most tax generation as a long feudal fight goes on, guys? Do you think it's off of gathering food, or do you think it's off of building units? He doesn't want to miss out on that doubling of resources from a blacksmith, right? That gives you 64 gold. He doesn't want to miss out on the 8 gold per military unit produced. And on top of that, he knows long-term there's going to be a lot of food here to manipulate. And he'll eventually end up here anyway. So when he does, look at what he's going to have in range. Gold, wood, stone. There's a lot of extra things to double tax in this area than there would be over here. It's smart. I like it, actually. It just feels a little bit ballsy against French. Because if they just immediately commit towards you, you shouldn't really have much to protect yourself. Beasty, smart, already has the racks up. Actually prioritized it over getting the mill. I love that. So just clubs down the sheep, starts gathering afterwards. The first Imperial official now comes out. Supervision immediately onto the spearman. Isn't choosing to go the static defense route about this. Yeah, so like some of them are quite interesting here. Now that I think about it. This map would have been terrible in Season 8. In Season 8, it would have been way too easy to wall yourself in when you land on here. But now it's like a lot more tricky. Like even just this wall is very expensive in terms of time investment. I quite like that. Other cool thing about this for Beasty, you might be wondering like, no Barbican? Isn't that kind of GG? He doesn't need to rush it because of this. He doesn't need to rush an outpost because of this. Village will protect him. And because B rushed Feudal Age with 5 on the tech up, he still doesn't have level 2 Jeanne. If this was some sort of fast level 2 Jeanne, Beasty would be a lot more concerned right now. Because you know it'd be range form and you know your spin would be dying. You should be able to get enough boys out just about to keep this back. How do you guys gamble in the end? You little gambaholics. 84% for Beasty. Bloody hell. Poor B. I mean, it's more of an experimental map, right? We talked about this being the one where you'd probably favor B more than any of the others. Definitely got one of the most powerful civs we've been seeing here so far. Is Beasty about to give a masterclass, though? B, I'm glad he's not going for the pro scouts. I think it would have just kind of sacrificed your attack point here. He's clearly trying to end this game fast. 14 sheep to work with. Other side, though, 24 sheep for Beasty. You only see knights now after watching some of the laser games. Dude, you don't have to just watch the laser games. Watch any high-ranking player play French right now. French and Jeanne, a lot of their games, they just build knights only. It's crazy how effective it is. In fact, what can make this super effective for B is if he brings the transport ship up here. Right now, Beasty has... Oh, you cheeky git. He's actually, like, he's minimized it perfectly. He's got 14, 15 villages over here. The rest are here. This is really smart by Beasty. Because the whole idea is if B didn't see enough villages here, he could just Normandy onto the starting island. And Beasty would hemorrhage because he'd be too slow to react. Instead, able to contain the threat by keeping himself contained here. Jeanne, in the meantime, being chased down by a single horseman and mass spearman is making it a little bit awkward. Knights are going to jump into action here, but won't be able to stand long against this. Divine Restoration is still on cooldown. She's still being chased away. Good job for the most, actually. B, he did carve down the injured ones well. Jeanne will survive. Beasty, maybe a little bit overly aggressive. That Stealth Forest muddied things for him. He couldn't see what the hell he was doing. Meanwhile, B had full vision. Yeah, that was crafty. I mean, Scout was coming around towards the end, but he was riding blind into that forest, so really well played by B to manipulate vision there for an advantage. Now, it's actually going to be Beasty playing more into water. We've got junk ships on the way. It's a good start for B. He's scaling just Knight still. So if he can keep taking fights like that, Beasty's not going to be able to man a Spearman army to defend here. He's turning this into a linear race. Right now, it's looking damn good. This is the other worrisome part for Beasty. You're on a very exposed map. Someone mentioned it the other day, like, Jeanne may actually just be the Giga Chad on this map because of the fact that you can't just remain safe at home. Jeanne hates civs that won't come out because she can't farm XP. But here, you don't have a choice. Nice dunk there. Gets rid of one of the horsemen. Beasty, no villager production lost for B. Remember, he loses one villager when he goes level 2 Jeanne. On top of that, Beasty already has 4 taxmen. He's holding onto a lot of food here. Seems like his gold isn't strong enough. He's shifting more people across. Sometimes you wonder if like this specialized picks is worth it. It feels a bit weird in these situations because your limited resources are just going to run out faster. Looks like Beasty did get enough float together to scare him away. Nice jump in, but that other horseman got in the way. And the knight is going to go down. Yeah, that would have been perfect if it wasn't for that weird little rotation there. Because getting rid of the horseman is what you need. Jeanne doesn't die fast if you guarantee that. That's why he keeps trying to cycle charge in. But Beasty switched on. Isn't going to give it over for free. Divine Restoration is being held right now, but B isn't really min-maxing this. No. Starts to peel back the engine now. This will be the time to pump. He already did, though. And yeah, B, that should be enough to hold on. A lot of spearmen going down here. Definitely a little bit messier than B was hoping for. One or two of those knights didn't pull away quick enough. Now have to retreat. No archers getting added in this. Still just range Jeanne. She is farming a lot of XP. Predator and Beasty not really exposing his economy. I say that one worker kill was achieved here. And now it is going to be full water play. Beasty riding up the river. And B queuing up the reaction plays. Demo's waiting though. This is pretty bad. You're going to probably have to try and finesse a heal here with villagers. Especially now that BC sees it. Target fire's coming in. Villagers being pulled. It's not enough though. He even took the risk of going in straight away. Demo's now going to react, but that's not even enough to get the war junk kill. Beasty just outplaying B on the water. Rough situation now because B, he makes that side investment. Beasty wins that trade. All of a sudden, he's still pinning you on water, but he's now closing the lead militarily on land. 13 spearmen, 3 horsemen. This is enough. Jeanne's going to die. Uh-oh. And now, you may be a little bit stuck, actually. Beasty, he could take out the transport ship. Which means these fights on the north side don't have an upside of XP anymore. I'm just going to try to move across, but if you transport in here, you could just die. Oh, he tries to springboard for Jeanne instead. So Transpo will make his way across, but guys, no, don't drop her off into that. Okay, she makes it over to the knights. Transport is going to be going down, though. I don't know, man. Beasty's just playing this very, very well. It looked pretty messy the way he was brute forcing those fights earlier, but you see what the intent was now, right? It was all just about getting B to overinvest on the double up and then taking water away from him. Sprung Ship's still once again not going to die. And Beasty, yeah, he can just cycle them back and forth. Did he select on Naval? I think he did. Not really sure you want to be bringing back a 92 HP War Junk that is going to be worth, what does it end up being? 53? No, sorry, 43. Maths is hard. Maths is really hard. It's not 43. What is wrong with me today? It's because I'm basically adding the columns on the left. It ends up being 340. So remember, that'd be 34 XP for Jeanne. So he will back up now. Barbican was established. Sorry, let me just asterisk that. Barbican was established. And this is just all very clean now for Beasty. There's no easy rotation here. There is a small gap to the far north, but it makes it such a long wait to try and get around for B. B now only getting into Chivalry. Look at those health bars. It's not a great position to find yourself in. We have got an Archer switch up coming, but BC just looks like he's fully in the driving seat here. Song's going to inflate his eco lead. He's already got Horsemen to deal with these Archers coming. I'm not really seeing the clear picture for Beasty here. He doesn't know all these moves that Beasty has made. B's got to be like assuming that, like, you know, Beasty probably set up a Barbican somewhere. It's just a very organic play for China against French Jeanne. And yeah, I think Beasty has really leveled up his early game presence. I don't think you'd mind me saying, like, you go back a year plus ago, there was a roll of the eyes experience sometimes watching Beasty where he would drag games out longer than need be because he knew he was in control. Safe statistical way of playing. Same thing that Marine Lord does, actually. But I think what we saw in the most recent S-tier tournament, what we're seeing in a lot of these games at the moment, is he doesn't just sit on his hands anymore. He's a lot more aggressive, and I think that pays off in dividends. Our ship going to get sniped out. B. A good attack, but one that Jeanne is not going to get XP for. Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality here. Jeanne is pinned in the base. Beasty looking for entry. The Knights. Whoa, no, they went hunting. Uh-oh. Village is in trouble as well. Everything in trouble. He did at least reclaim water at the right time, but no transport ship right now. A demo is coming, though. Can he bait this right? He can! Big hit! Beasty, as quick as the reactions were, still loses a handful of spears and 2 horsemen. Every little bit of XP counts now. Could have been a lot worse for Beasty, mind you. If he had just been half a second later, that would have been over half the army dead. There's a firm reminder, I'm not dead yet, as level 3 comes in pre-15 minutes, despite how dire this was looking. And now this could be a game changer. Before, when Beasty's army is getting too big, a lot of horsemen, like, she can't deliver. But now, equal on military. Beasty needs a next step. And we can see what the intent is here. He's starting to macro towards Castle Age. He's still reluctant to come out of the base for good reason. Against horsemen, even range Jeanne can get sniped out. I wonder if there's a world actually in which, I mean, surely you could just build Jeanne's champions here. Oh wait, that's right. Yeah, they a while ago fixed that so you can't build them in Fuel Age. Wait, was that the... No, I remember. There was a bug, an unintended behavior, and I think it was that if you got level 4 Jeanne when you were in level 3, back when you built your champions out of castles, they would basically get the stats upgrade automatically. They fixed that though. Imperial pass down the way. I love this. Beasty's going to be able to see everything this. It's a bit weird sometimes not have Clock Tower in this matchup because Jeanne's late game comp is usually arbitrary more than Knights, especially with no Pro Scouts. But in this situation, like, you know, eventually he'll want to go Jeanne anyway, so he'll eventually have the siege answer. And the other thing you have to remember is, like, why Clock Tower feels a bit poop on a stick against Jeanne is Divine Arrow. Range Jeanne can snipe them down easily. Are Jeanne's champions stronger than normal men arms? In ways, yes. Yeah. You pay a lot more for it, though. You paid, what, 160 versus paying 125. Sorry, wait, no, that's with discounts. I think it's 200 compared to 120. Shiv's out from the villagers. This is ugly. Really ugly. Oh, my God. That's 8 worker kills in total. I think that was 6 in that one fight there. B needs to counter-offensive now. He's an age behind. He lost workers while that was all happening. This is simply unacceptable. Mass Spearman already vetted up. This is what makes China feel so dirty. Even if he dove the base the moment he heard the tech up, the veterancy still would have only been, what, about 24 seconds away. B got his work cut out for him here. Knight's just trying to stay away from the mass spears. Jeanne gets sniped down, though. The negative of going into level 3 is these spearmen are a more direct counter to you. B does have the numbers, though. Beasty down to just 11 spears. The archers are cleaning house. The champions as well, doing what they need to with their bonus damage up against spearmen. Beasty about to be stagnating in his own production line. Stalemated out. He has got Palace Guard now starting to arrive, though. The night count pretty much evaporated. No level 3 Jeanne in play, remember. Didn't have the goal for the buyback. Might not have the chops for the long fight either. It's a 14 villager lead for Beasty. The Lancers are now cleaning house. And B still has no age upcoming with 0 food income. Yeah, he just desperately ran out. And not just that, he got scouted by the Horsemen. So the Lancers now have a target. They know where to go. Top of that, Beasty securing more food for himself. Still got the deers nearby. I think he's still got some hidden here somewhere. Yeah, there's a sneaky deer at the back. Man, if B could just starve the food now, Beasty would be screwed. But with what army? You've got 2 knights, 4 spearmen. If Jeanne actually didn't die in that fight and instead was able to rotate, she could be the ultimate sniper here. Just dunking on all these villagers. But now he truly has his work cut out for him. He is going to try to directly contest onto the berries. Villagers will be able to get in safely, though. And remember, this is still a feudal army. They can't dive arrow outposts. Not when they're this small in count. Beasty. We talked about him scouting that out, the horseman, before. He knows the deer gathering's over here. There's going to be a wall attempt by B. Unfortunately, it's not going to be quick enough. He needs these walls as well. Food and gold up here. We'll be able to scare him away. So B, quick enough reaction, doesn't lose anything. But Beasty is now going after relics. He understands from this position, like, there's not really much B can do to counterattack. Because he's got lancers in his face, his knights have to be directed to defend. And this is exactly where you don't want to be. Like, when you're down on villages like this, you want to be able to try and attack your opponent. The logic being there's more villages you could kill. He does have military advantage lead, but it is deceptive, folks. Remember, he's got, what, 8 population on water? So he's actually only less than 10 ahead. Strange is now getting added in. I think for B to stabilize, Arbitraire is like where you want to go, right? You need a reason to go there, though. Because remember what we said about what BC done here. He didn't go for clock tower, so there isn't a significant nest of bees threat. You know what would actually be sick? I don't know if you can afford to do it, but if Jeanne just attacked the starting island right now, you could be killing loads of villagers here. Her base damage is 15, right? So she 4 hits. And you've got multiple divine arrows to shoot in for an insta-kill. Or just a knight. Like, something over here would be so wonderful for B. Like, at this stage, his opponent has to be playing away from the TC in some form or other. Like the style of play this map brings out, I think it's very unique. Like I said, it's, you know, it's doing what Migration done wrong. To me, Migration's issue is there's too much fish. If it wasn't for the fish, Migration would be a very interesting map. But as always, like, fish interaction, boat interaction can ruin the game. This does it right. A key drop from Beasty. Can he do that right? Oh, the walls! He's looking for somewhere. He does find it. B, let's get to all in this. Backstab coming through. Wait, this is not enough villages, surely. Beasty, he has got textiles. It's not going to work, though. The Tuggerfire's in. The villagers are panicking. Only 3 of them left alive. It is going to be a doubtful castle in honor of his fellow Serbian. Still a big worker lead, but definitely a shrunk one. After the lead Beasty was building off the raids, after the hits that were coming on the backside, this should have been curtains. Somehow, it's like where it just didn't extend after that. He's still trying to raid in the back. The spearmen are going to be able to raid, but I mean, as much as B is trying, the problem still here is what is the game plan? How the hell do you get out of Feudal Age? I think the main thing keeping you alive right now is that Beasty can't afford to flood Palsgard. He doesn't have farms yet. That's the big problem Beasty has. Like, ideally, Palsgard just ends this game. Your opponent has spears, archers, and not enough knights. He doesn't have a granary transition. So B is somehow still alive in this game. Great chase down, great poke damage done. Swing placements are going to be a nuisance, does need to be cleared fast. He doesn't have a great way of doing so. Divine Arrow can speed this up a bit if you want to snipe the tower. But there we go, Knight's now arriving. I don't know, dog. I'm not sure that keep drop was needed from Beasty. The reason why he still got that lead is I believe the Lancers were hitting up here at the same time. Like, that's why it didn't just end up with B having enough, like, economy to catch up. An XP check is going to have Jeanne sitting at, 548. She's still got 2/3 of the way to go. So nowhere near. But B is getting near to a castle play now. His army's a lot bigger. He can finally justify it. He kind of needs to as well. Beasty switching into crossbows should be able to kind of beat this all down at mass. So you've kind of overstayed your welcome in Feudal now. And we do have the granary switch coming through. There we go. So Beasty makes his move, and he's all of a sudden looking healthy. 23 farms and scaling. So B still has a lot of economy he can snipe over here that Beasty's working with. He did go for the defensive keep in the end at home. It does give him all the wood he needs, berries as well, deer nearby. So, like, overall, a fairly decent keep. Wouldn't have been as good as this one, but no, it's an economical keep, whereas the previous intent was the GG keep. You just put AoE for an SSD. It takes a while to load stuff. We are on an SSD. We're literally on the next gen SSDs. That's an issue with the way that it was coded by AoE 4. Guildhall now coming through. His own dirty little secret in the corner. So Guildhall offers up a route to recovery. Remember, if you can now stagnate castle long enough, you just get the food pool. The problem is you need to have all the food in the meantime to keep fighting. This is, I think, one of the more interesting dynamics about Guildhall Jeanne compared to French. Is you can drag the game out, and yes, it's going to cost you food, only to then use the Guildhall to get more food, so you don't really get ahead there. But where you do get ahead from those fights is Jeanne. So it's kind of like you're griefing your own Imperial timing to buff your level 4 timing. It's a very interesting interaction that only Jeanne has. Oh, we got PG into the base. And B didn't leave anything here to defend. No, it's just the TC. So tech out complete, but no answer to the palace guard. He's going to need to find one fast. Another relic making a home, so that's 4 for Beasty. Is this going to be the hair that breaks the camel's back? It's starting to feel like it, right? Like, this is just way too much out of time. B, the one upside he had is that he was never being attacked on the starting island. Now Jeanne's attention is split. She can't protect both sides of the river. Yeah, I think Jeanne in this situation plays a lot like Mongols. You cannot attack. You have to defend. Sorry, you have to attack, you can't defend. Knight's now reacting, so we'll be able to mop up the infantry eventually, but the idle time alone is killing him in this game. Meanwhile, Beasty now diving into the base with a nest of bees! Which, by the way, does directly counter Jeanne as well. You have to snipe him straight away. Beasty now happy to retreat. I mean, the lead he's built is getting insane. He's over 30 economy ahead. 4 relics as well. Beasty just seems to be everywhere. In the main base, on the flank resources, diving towards the main. Oh no, man. B. Oh my. Wait, did he not have that wall up? I'm not sure. I think it was just the sneak in naturally from the PG. Crazy well executed game by Beasty. B is still, once again, refusing to give this up. In fairness, if he can get Arbalest Mass together, Guildhall will eventually give him the route to potential recovery. It's so damn hard, though. He's playing like the sub 1% of the sub 1%. You know, it's kind of ironic. Remember, Beasty used to be that guy who'd always say, you know, even if there's only like a 1% chance, I'll play it out. Well, B is holding true to that moniker in response to the man himself. Sacred Sight's now locked in for Beasty. More spears are getting added into these formations, so it's actually harder for the Knights to defend. In fact, I'm pretty sure Beasty could just turn and win that fight right now. Guildhall is nowhere near getting him out of this. He's going to have to get his teeth kicked in for like an extra, what, 10 minutes? Look at the costs. He may have just protected his base, but the mainland is no longer his. Army's just too small. I don't know, B's like basically preying on that Guildhall. We've said this before, like Guildhall is one of those landmarks that turns losses into wins if someone doesn't move quick enough with urgency. But credit to him, like Beasty didn't go back, he didn't make 2 TC, 3 TC, he didn't chill. He just attacked. He's now bringing everything across, it feels like. Yeah, this is what we wanted from him a lot earlier. Just have Jeanne on the starting island. There was definitely raid opportunities here. I think B's thought process was keep Jeanne where the fights might happen that you can win a fight directly, just more XP. It's kind of a difference of approach. Do you want to get level 4 or do you want to try and whittle away at your opponent's economy? Probably felt like he couldn't get enough kills quick enough with Jeanne to offset Song Dynasty. So the cleaner route was to try and directly contest, but this is ugly. Jeanne goes down. Has to stand still way too long to deploy the boys. And it looks like Beasty is going to be leading in the quarterfinals best of 5 here. Still potentially 4 more games, but the way Beasty just opened this, I'd be surprised if we have more than 3.